Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of the Lucas Lounge podcast. And this time, I can actually say the Lucas Lodge and mean it, because this episode is coming from the Lucas Lodge, as it is 2025 Deer Camp, and we just all completed opening day. And Jenna's not here to tell me not to say Lucas Lodge, which she couldn't anyways if she wanted to, because it is the Lucas Lodge. So I am here with, once again, returning my brother, Don.
Hey.
And what are you drinking, Don?
Whistle Pig, Snout and Tail Bourbon.
Perfect. And our friend from college, Mr. Andrew Burkle.
Howdy, folks.
What are you drinking?
Same as Don. Whistle Pig Bourbon.
Nice. And Andrew Burkle goes by Andy, by the way. I don't know why. I introduced him by his government name. And and then also a friend who hunts with us, Mr. Jimmy.
Jimmy D.
Jimmy D.
Jimmy D.
Better known as PA Jim.
PA Jim. And what are you drinking, Jim?
This is also the Whistle Pig, I believe, that Don has.
Yes. So they're all drinking the same thing. I have a bottle of Planter Ray rum, which is really good. I'm also still working on my dinner beer, and I have a glass of water because it's been a day.
Gotta hydrate.
Gotta hydrate.
So we had opening day. Everybody had a little bit different of an experience. Jimmy didn't even hunt our hill.
Mm-hmm.
Donny never came in between morning and afternoon.
Stayed out all day?
Stayed out all day. I had the best day of hunting I've ever had and did not get a deer. Nobody at camp got a deer.
Best day of his life. That's what I heard.
Not the best day of my life.
Best day of his life.
I mean,
best day of hunting.
He hunted past 11. Is that right?
Yeah.
He didn't come past noon.
And he got further than I shot from the cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, walked the whole hill.
I was happy to hear that.
So I went out to my stand on that first shelf. Didn't get in it, but walked a little bit past it to watch this little pine grove that deer like to move through. After a while, it was clear nothing was moving. I moved down to, I don't know how to describe it, that spot you picked out for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of the north corner of the property.
Yep, northeast. And still saw nothing. I mean, this morning was rough for everybody.
Do all your listeners know, do they understand the concept of opening day, deer camp?
I would hope so. I've had a lot of listeners tell me they won't listen to hunting episodes.
Oh.
We have a very diverse friend group, and a lot of people don't appreciate.
There's so many hunting podcasts out there, though, so maybe people are just burned out.
I know, and I'm glad you actually said that because I totally blew past the whole Pert Near intro. This episode is also likely to be cross-posted to Pert Near Outdoors, so if you're listening to this and do enjoy hunting podcasts and are not yet burned out, check out Pert Near Outdoors on Spotify, and I'm pretty sure everywhere else, too.
Yeah, they're big.
Promo code feeding them for 25% off at the Huntworks.
25% off.
Wow, 25%.
That was a blatant plug.
That we weren't authorized to give anyhow.
No. Do you, when you put in the feeding them,
yeah,
do you have to put in all 5 Fs?
All 5 Fs, yeah.
All right. But yeah, I walked all the way down to the bottom of the hill, met up with Donny, walked all the way back to the top.
That's what happens. You get to the bottom, then you got to come back up.
Yeah.
Going down is always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't love going down because it's all loose shale and acorns, so I almost ate shit like 3 times.
It's like walking on marbles out there.
Yeah.
A lot of acorns this year.
A lot of acorns this year, which I think is, Donnie and I were talking earlier, it's the first year we've had acorns in a while.
A lot of acorns is a blessing and a curse because
it is.
You have a lot of protein for the deer and the antler growth, and it'll hold a lot of deer, but like at the same time, all your surrounding areas are the same. So like you can't really like locate them in pockets now because now they could feed everywhere. Right.
It's not like you have a grove of oaks.
Exactly.
You just have an entire oak forest.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I talk to guys who have properties elsewhere that are, mostly pine or maple forest and stuff, and they'll talk about, man, what I wouldn't give for an oak tree. I'm like, I have nothing but oak trees, and it's the exact same problem, right? The deer are everywhere because there's acorns everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's not like it's one little pocket that dial them in.
And we didn't have acorns for 2-3 years because the gypsy moths came through and ate all the buds off of the oak trees. So it took a couple years for the acorns to come back. That's me burping, as I do every episode.
It's this thing.
So, yeah, that was my morning. I was reluctant to go all the way to the bottom because I knew I had to walk all the way back to the top. I was successful, but didn't see a single living thing outside of a chipmunk. And a couple moths. Big moth ear down here.
Where'd Jimmy go? What was your day?
So Billy took me on one of his big adventures.
Well, now you got to say who Billy is, because this is Pert Near.
Billy Harvey, Pert Near Outdoors. He's the leader of that pack over there.
Always a wild goose chase.
Always a wild goose chase, yeah. So one of Billy's great adventures on state land. Typically, his great adventures include multiple deer killed, a lot of pack outs, typically uphill walks, and a whole lot of fun and struggle at the same time. So yeah, he there's a state land that's across from where his camp is, and I've been there in the bow season before and hunted it. It's tough. It's tough terrain. It's very much like this hill, where it's just a ton of oaks. It has some diversity with, like, you have your little pine thickets and hemlocks, and but what sets that property apart is that in the back corner there's like this finger where there's just like a steep ridge that
it's like a cliff.
It's not even it's a cliff, yeah. And it kind of gives you, and I learned a lot from Billy on this because I see where he kind of picks his spots now, and he thinks outside the box, and it's interesting because I would have never tucked myself as deep into the hemlocks as he did. It almost looks like when you get down into where he stands, it's not a whole lot to look at, and you wouldn't think that would be a good spot. I'd be out another 50 or 60 yards,
right,
so I could see a little bit better vantage point. But the deer get on you quick in that area, come to find out. So we hike all the way up there in the dark. I had no clue.
Yeah, what time did you get up this morning?
Like 3:30.
And you left the house when?
Like 3:45.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Drove down there. I got
That's why
there.
we're doing a podcast.
Maybe
early.
it was maybe I left the house at like 4 because I got there for maybe a little before 4. I got there for 4:30 on the dot.
Okay.
And then I drove all the way up there to their camp. I went in and said hello to the boys. It was Big Billy and Jimmy Harvey. Wished them luck. Then me and Billy packed up and headed over. Dropped my truck off. We brought 2 trucks this time, just in case things got western and we needed to divide and conquer, or if we ended up in a different part of that hill, we'd have vehicles to choose from. So we get up in there and we're hiking in the dark, and I mean I don't know, at this point it's probably like 5 o'clock, so it's not going to be light for quite a while yet, and we have a good hour hike straight uphill. So we're just trugging along. I haven't even pulled up my Onyx or even looked. It's honestly better just to follow him and just put your head down and go.
Try to do your own research.
Yeah, because if you're looking, you just are realizing how far and miserable it's going to be. So you might as well just keep moving your legs.
Keep moving.
Yeah. So once we got to the top, I knew where I was at, and I found my way back to his little hemlock spot. So I got in there, and he veered off on the opposite side. He's only probably like 150 yards or so away from me. And that's where we set up for the morning. And around 8 o'clock or so, I had come up from behind me in the one and only place I wasn't expecting, from that super steep ridge cliff. There was a really nice buck that jumped, kind of crested the edge of it, and I didn't even hear him. He was just billy goating his way up.
That's wild.
And super wild. And so I just so happened to catch a glimpse in my peripheral, and I kind of was startled me to where I actually jumped a little bit. Luckily it didn't spook him, and I could see my peripheral. I can kind of see a good frame, and it's just good. It was a shooter buck without a doubt, right? So I grabbed my rifle.
No doubt.
I clicked the safety off.
Well, there was some doubt apparently.
And so I kind of swing his way, and he's walking up and just getting in front of me, and he stops, and I don't know, he must have noticed something or whatever, but he turns and looks at me and starts head bobbing, and when he turns and looks at me is when I can see his left side of his whole frame is broken off, and it was kind of deflating because he was a really nice deer.
I still would have shot him.
I talked myself out of it because I had him in the crosshair, and I was squeezing on the trigger, and I'm like, it's still early yet.
It's always tough when it's early like that.
Yeah.
You think, I got time.
If it was 11,
buck, I'm going to see another one.
If it was 11, 12 o'clock, he'd have got it.
Yeah.
You gotta feel it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
If you don't have the feeling, it's not gonna happen.
That's just it right there. Because I still haven't had a 3-buck season, and that was my opportunity, right?
That would have been it.
That would have been it right there, seal the deal. But
would that count as your 3rd buck or your 2nd and a half?
Yeah, that's a good point. It would have been 2nd and a half probably.
Well, then you got to go out and get another half buck.
I know. I have to
I
go.
don't think that's how tags work, though.
Have to. So yeah, that was a cool encounter. I ended up not seeing any other deer after that. I heard Billy's gun ring off around 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then I texted him. I was like, "Is that thing dead?" And no response from him, which is typically means like it's dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No news is good news.
Yeah.
Because he's elbow deep.
Yep. And he finally gets back to me. He's like, doe down. I was like, all right, good shooting, good work. And then I was like, I'll give it another half an hour or so, and I'll make my way towards you and help you get her, quartered up, and we'll get her prepared for departure. And I get over to him, and we pull the deer out, and we stopped and chatted in the hemlocks for a while, and then we pull the deer out, and we're just talking like normal tone. We weren't even, we just kind of got off hunting. We were veering off topic. We were talking about other stuff. And all of a sudden I catch movement like 150 yards up on the, I'm looking past Billy at this point. I kind of like move my head around him. I'm like, I see deer moving up there. And
Which is the second time this weekend you've done that.
Yeah.
You did it around the fire last night, too.
I'm just like, I don't know, I have like a sixth sense, or I just happen to catch
Dialed
movement.
in.
Yeah.
An important thing to know about Jimmy is deer like to approach him and then drop dead right in front of him.
They typically tip over.
Yeah.
So, what's wrong? You want me
Just
to put
picking on your
should I
blanket.
put my
Yeah,
slippers on?
yeah.
I just put my slippers on.
Big Don took a picture of Jimmy because he's wrapped in a granny blanket on the couch right now.
I am so cozy. I have my bourbon. I have my granny blanket. I'm just
Woodstove's ripping.
Terrible
Woodstove's ripping.
accommodations.
Yeah.
Roughing it.
had a wonderful meal.
You guys set the bar way too high
For
what?
deer camp.
for deer camp / cabins.
Yeah.
This is like a paid hunt.
I know. We've talked
That
in
you
the
don't
past
pay
that we
for.
could,
That you don't pay
yeah.
for.
It's great.
We've talked in the past about charging certain people.
Like the lodging's top tier, the food's top tier. This is like what guys pay a lot of money for.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, absolutely.
If you guys could just put me in a spot where there's like guaranteed bucks every time,
That's the hard
I'd
part.
probably
is
pay.
Guaranteed slammer.
hunting down here can be tough.
Yeah.
A lot of big woods.
Where was I?
Yeah.
Oh, so anyway, I see this deer in the distance, and I say deer, and Billy's goes right into hunt mode. So
Ears perk up.
Ears perk up. We drop to one knee. We get the rifles up, whatever, and then he turns and he could see it, and then he turns and looks back at me, and he's like, "Do you want to shoot it? I got one already. Do you want to shoot one? Like, do you want to take a deer home?" And I'm like, I got a bunch of deer in the cooler already. I think I'm all right for right now. If it was a buck, I would, but we'll just go ahead. You shoot it. We just talked like that. He's like, okay. And then he went into mode and into killing mode and creeped his way up. And he's like, she's working in, so I'm just gonna let her keep working and see if I can get closer. You might as well make the shot a little bit easier if possible. She was just browsing. She wasn't bumped, nothing. She was literally just on her normal path, just cruising, eating acorns, as free as can be. And then she worked in 50 yards or so, whatever. And he got the 7mm mag, the big gun, braced up on a pine and touched it off. And he turns and looks at me, and the deer takes off. And he turns and looks at me, and he's like, I think I missed her. And I was like, I don't know. I was filming it, and I had a pretty good vantage point. I think you hit her because her tail was tucked hard, and she bolted. And I saw her go down into this little washout, and then I didn't see her come out of it. So
Was this the big one or the little one?
this was the little one.
It'd be easy to miss.
Yeah. True. Good point. And I saw her go in this little washout, and she didn't come out. So I'm like, I don't know. And then so luckily I was, like I said, I filmed it. It was a pretty cool little shot. And I zoomed in, and I'm like, yeah, her tail's tucked pretty hard. You couldn't really tell if I saw blood in the picture. I was a little fuzzy. I was like, based on her demeanor, I'm going to say you hit her. So he goes off looking for blood, and I circle around to that washout where I think I saw her go down, and she ended up being in between the two of us there. So Billy ended up finding blood, and then he whistled over, and then I look up and I could see her, and so we go up, and it ends up turns out he shot her right 12 ringed her perfect right behind the shoulder, exactly the way he draw it up, double lung. I don't even know how she made it 80 yards or 85 yards, whatever it was. Everything inside was absolutely vaporized. I don't know how she made it that far. But then the work began, so then we had to quarter up the 2 deer, got them strapped to the packs. We toasted the deer gods, had ourselves a snack, got hydrated, and headed out. And it was and then on our way out, in natural Billy fashion, the hunt's not over, even though you got 60 pounds of meat.
You don't have any more
each
room to pack.
Yeah, 60 pounds of meat each on both of your packs. So he was had me work ahead, and he kind of zigzagged in between some bedding areas and stuff, and we kind of put little game plans together on our way out, and we hunted hard our way out and didn't put anything up, but that's always fun with hunting with Billy because the hunt's never over. So
Never over.
But that was it for my day.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting adventure.
Yeah, I didn't see you when I got up this morning. Obviously, you were gone.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had just gotten back when I came up the hill at about 4:30 for my afternoon hunt.
Long day.
How was your morning, Mr. Burkle?
Mr. B.
It was uneventful. It was a slow morning. Wasn't I was the last one, less than Ethan out of the cabin.
Yeah.
And then usually I go down the bottom. I just didn't quite have it in me today, so figured I'd sit out in the top here. And
It's a long walk without a quad.
it is a long walk.
It's a very long walk.
Yeah, usually we haul the four-wheeler up, but it didn't happen this year, so figured I'd just sit out in the top here. It was a beautiful morning, but literally, like, the woods were just dead. Like Ethan said earlier, like, the only thing you really saw were moths.
Yep.
I mean, it was
Even
kind of
the wind was down, wasn't it?
It was very
there was
down.
no
Yeah.
wind, and that's what we were talking about earlier. And I don't know. I mean, I've never really thought about it, but like in a situation where there is no wind, do deer just not move because they typically use wind to their advantage to smell?
True. The thermals are still rising though, so like there is some
that'll help
sort of
shift
like
the air.
yeah,
Okay.
yep. So there's still thermals coming in out of the bottom.
I haven't listened to Pert Near in a long time,
Thermal
actually.
The
Thermal hub.
But yeah, the
that's
thermals is a reference.
Have you guys been seeing the clip on like Instagram Reels where somebody's like, a fresh balloon, I know where I'm sitting,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
I found a balloon today. Down
No kidding.
I was walking around that like freshly logged area, and I'm looking. I'm like, what is that? So I pull the binos up, and I'm looking. I'm like, that's a balloon. And sure enough, it was a blue and silver Mylar balloon down there.
So
all
can
popped.
we explain the thermals largely because I barely know what we're talking about, and I'm assuming anybody listening to this is going to have no clue.
The concept is that as your air warms or cools, it rises or falls.
Yes.
And that's your thermal. So, like on a hill, especially, it's not as applicable if you're hunting flatland, but when you're hunting hilly terrain,
like us Pennsylvanians.
Yeah.
We only hunt flatland.
all of us billy goats over here, you have to take into account that in the morning as the sun comes up, the temperature's gonna rise, and with it, even if there's no wind, you're gonna get movement
Of air.
upward.
Okay.
And then in the evening, it's typically the opposite. So if you do have wind, it sort of counteracts those thermals. It's not as critical, but on a day like today with no real wind, your
So
thermals are your air movement.
what is the indication with the balloon then? The balloon is down. What does that
So
mean?
like a little kid lets go of a balloon, it floats
Yes.
up into the atmosphere and it pops. It has almost no weight to it as it falls.
Right.
So it's going to just sort of drift in the air and
It's
it's
wherever
going
the
to
air's coming
settle
down.
in, a thermal hub.
A thermal hub.
It's where all the thermals sink to a single point. And that's important because, a big mature buck, a slammer, is going to work through that thermal hub because he can pick up all the scents from all around.
Thermal
All
hub is
those hot
obviously
does.
it's one of those popular terms that's on all the hunting podcasts. The guys that are shooting big bucks in the Midwest, they're all using those thermal hub.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're like,
that's where that comes from.
Deer hunting's easy. You just find a thermal
We
hub.
poke fun
yeah.
at it. That's why we say it. But
Gotcha. So the other thing, Andy, that
It's like funnel.
was interesting to me, and I'm curious on everybody's opinion, and I'm not picking on you, but you had mentioned being cold this morning, where I feel like this is one of the least cold mornings that we've had. And, like, you've been down here when it's been 22 degrees out there and been fine.
Yeah.
And today at 42 degrees, you're like, it's cold. I need to go in for coffee.
It was weird. Like, I don't know. Like, my toes were colder than normal. Maybe it was I had lighter weight socks on. And I had bibs. I had all the typical gear. But yeah,
What do you wear for bibs?
First light only.
First light.
First
Nice
light.
stuff.
Yeah. I put first light off for many years. I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing the bro staff thing. I'm not spending the money. I got my stuff from Kmart that I've had for
That's all
10, 15 years.
all the stuff I have, I think Mom and Dad bought for me when I was like 16,
Yep.
17.
Yep.
And it's all Field and Stream brand.
Yeah, Field and Stream from Dick's. Yep. Had that for years, and I was like, this is good. I'm fine. I'm just going to sweat. And finally, after I think 3 or 4 years of putting it off, Jimmy D finally convinced me to pull the trigger, and I'm not going back. Never. Their stuff's top notch.
You can never convince the old timers, like my old man. I still can't convince him that like he wears the same old ripped up like deer sweatshirt underneath his mossy oak jacket that he got from Walmart freaking 30 years ago. Yep. And it's like you can't convince him that like the sweating is the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you think you're putting on more layers and you think you're doing yourself good. You're actually making it way worse.
Yeah.
Well, that was my struggle.
Because then you're cold.
Yes. My struggle today was I went all the way to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I hoofed it all the way to the top. There's that one, what we call the steep hill,
Mm-hmm.
which has been pushed out a little bit, so it's not as steep as it used to be, but it's still a bear.
Mm-hmm.
So I met up with Dad at his blind, walked the rest of the way to the top, and when I remember the first thing I said to Dad when he got out of the blind is like, I'm ready to strip layers. So we got up here and like took my coat off and all that. I had my heated electric vest on. Oof. But I didn't turn it on. I was just wearing it. Just didn't need to turn it on. So I was so excited. I pulled my shirt off. I unzipped that, throw it, grab my shirt, and my shirt is just wet. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I was just out there sweating balls, which is probably why I've been cramping up
When
all
that
day.
happens, you should literally, and it feels kind of funny, but you should just be shirtless for like a minute or two. Just let yourself air off.
Let the steam
right out in the woods.
Yeah, and just...
You would be better off.
Yeah, I do that a lot. I mean, dude, there's many times I've hiked and like doing something like I did with Billy where if I know I'm going to sit out there all day like solo, I'll pack all my clothes and I'll literally wear like my base layer only, like my underwear, hiking in there. And then when I get there, I'll even strip down and just be one with nature for a few minutes and just let everything
My
be.
thing is like I'm like a big dude, so if I'm like out in the woods shedding
It's a lot to air out.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm shedding my jacket. It's like waving a bed comforter around. So, yeah, and then so you came in 10 o'clock or so.
I came in early. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we weren't seeing anything.
I'm not shaming. I mean, how many years have I been?
Well, that was
I've
the thing.
walked out at 6:30 and
I was
walked
like,
in at 7:30.
like if I'm coming in, Ethan's gonna come in, and then like 2 hours later, he comes strolling door. I was like, man.
Past few years I've been doing good, and now that I know that I can like move, like what always killed me for years was sitting in a tree in the wind in the cold. And
Thinking you can't move,
That was
Yeah.
where I was this morning. I was like, well, if I'm going to sit in the tree and not see anything, I can do that inside next to the wood stove with a coffee.
Right. Learning I could hunt the ground was a game changer, and then learning I don't have to stay in the same place the entire time I'm out there. So like if I get cold, I just go for a little walk and find somewhere else cool to sit.
Yeah.
I think the distance from the cabin has a lot to do with it. If I go out here and I sit on top, even if I'm here by myself,
it's just too easy.
It's tempting. You're watching the smoke come out of the chimney. You're like, all right, you know what? This is good. I'm heading in.
Yeah.
You're down in the bottom.
No, you're in.
You're not walking up just because you want to warm up. Like
Nope.
you're down there. Just stay down there.
Yep. Well, that's kind of like I said earlier, going to the bottom and I have to come back up.
Yep.
But I was like, if I go to the bottom, I'd hunt my way back up. And I will say that little stretch between where I left you and walking up to Dad, where William sits, that's a beautiful stretch.
Yeah.
Especially now that they cleared the bottom a little bit.
Yep.
I said to Dad earlier, I was like, I'm at one point looking down, and you're looking through the hardwoods, and then you see the big open area at the bottom. And I'm like, how can I, from this one spot, see so much area and not a single fucking deer?
A lot of space.
A lot of space.
A lot of times you'll sit there and you'll stare at that and you think you could see everything and like you don't see anything at all and you're like, oh, there's no deer here. But you just sit there and stare for a while, they'll just pop up. You know?
That's true.
They could be right there.
I walked up on like 4 or 5 does today that I probably got within 25 or 30 yards before they stood up. And it was down in that logging cut below where you're talking. I walked all through there today.
Which you can go on and recap your day, too.
Yeah, so I went down to the bottom corner of our property, but there's been a lot of logging down in that area that I wanted to hunt near and around. It's where our trail cameras have been seeing stuff. So midday I got up and just wandered. And the first cool thing, I walked up on a doe fawn, little baby, just sort of sleeping in the sun. And that was cool to, come around a corner and see, maybe 60 yards out through the woods. I saw the white belly and was really hoping there was a nice big rack, but there wasn't. She was just laying there. So watched her for about half an hour. I thought of you had just left. You had came and hung out,
Yep.
and you walked up the hill. I was like, man, do I call Ethan and see if he wants to come back? That's kind of your specialty, those little ones.
Yeah, I know. We'll get
And I
back
was
to
like,
that.
I could call him back and give him the classic, who wants to shoot
Do you
a
want to
deer?
shoot the sleeping baby deer?
She woke up a couple times, woke up, looked around, went back to sleep. But they hide, especially in those logging cuts all full of treetops. They get right in there. She was nestled right up under a top, and just the angle I was at, I could see her perfectly, but you'd probably walk right by her, not know she was there. So they're down there. You just got to work for them a little bit.
Well, I mean, that's happened to me before at my buddy Matt's land out in Brockport, and I told the story last night of the deer. Me and my friend Alex were hunting the land, and he didn't have his gun on him, and we're walking out, and there was a doe 20 yards from us, little baby, and I had my shotgun on me, and it was do you want to shoot her? Or, I asked him, do you want her? And he's like, no, I've already got 2 deer down. You can shoot her if you want, though, because I have a doe permit I'll sign over to you. As Don just pointed out, my specialty is baby doe.
6 months or less.
So I've given myself a hard and fast rule that I will not shoot any more baby doe, but we had a whole conversation about whether or not we wanted to shoot her. And she's like, what are you guys talking about? And then I went in and hunted on my way out. I stopped. I'm like, I wonder if she's still in here. And sure enough, curled up like a little dog with her chin up on her butt. She was just curled up under a tree staring at me, watching me walk by. So if you're not looking for them, you'll miss them.
They're so cute when they sleep.
They're so cute. Well, they're always so cute. Jenna's going to hate this episode. Talking about shooting baby deer. And even we did dinner with Graham the other night. And Jenna's like, for me with eating venison, it's just a mental block. Because, cows and pigs, they're raised to be food. But, deer, she goes, they're just living.
Wild and free.
Yeah, she goes, they're just living in their house. And you just walk into their house and shoot them.
They're pretty tasty, though.
They are tasty.
Yeah, Yeah. Which would you really feel worse for? Something that's whole life is based on being used for meat, or something that was wild and free until all of a sudden it wasn't?
Right.
If I had to choose a way to live,
It's
I'd rather be wild and free
range.
until I wasn't.
Yes.
Free range food.
And we've actually had that exact conversation on episode 2 of this podcast, where I had a friend who went to Africa and saw goat leg, in a open air market. He's like, it really made me think about where food comes from and appreciating hunters a little bit more, because you have such a closer relationship with your food, which I think is a fair point.
I like deer because you could read the ingredient label.
That's right. If I can read it.
It's pretty simple. You just look around outside. That's what they eat. Perfect.
Yep.
Acorns,
Yep.
corn, clover. Pretty simple. We had a lot of does today, though. I saw a pile of does. Didn't shoot any. I'm really hoping. I got all these bucks on camera, and I just can't connect.
I don't think I've ever seen a buck, and I say this, and as I've alluded to earlier, I've historically been a terrible hunter until the past couple of years I've been better, but I don't think I've seen a buck down here since I had my bow.
Probably.
The year of the ghost.
Yep.
I was the first one to see the ghost when I had a bow. I was ground hunting because I was going up into Dad's stand, and someone stole the spikes out of the side of the tree.
The old screw-in steps.
No kidding.
The first 4 were gone.
I ended up face-to-face through a bunch of brush with a monster 8-point and 12 yards away. But I could never get a shot. I mean, if I was in the tree, that'd have been my deer.
Yeah.
Bigger than the one up there? The new one? The latest edition?
No, not that big. Probably comparable to the center one, which these pictures will end up on the Instagram for anybody listening. Probably comparable to the center one, not as perfectly symmetrical.
12 yards, he probably looked like he was 400 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're on the ground eye level with him, it's a whole different game.
Yeah.
I love that story because Ethan's like, if I were in a tree, that'd have been my deer. And all I can think is, if you were in that tree, the story would end with you missing that deer.
That first buck with a bow, your adrenaline's pumping for sure.
Yeah.
But no, my afternoon was a lot more exciting. I saw...
It was your best day ever.
It was my best day of hunting ever. I will stand on that. I went down to a property across the street, and it's an abandoned property with a house, a shed, and a barn. So I crawled out behind the barn, sat on a stump. So I'm sitting on the ground, And I had this doe come through and gave me a perfect broadside, about 180-degree arc. She walked around me at 30 yards. Easily could have taken her, but I'm not killing baby does
Hard
anymore.
fast rule.
Not killing baby does anymore.
I'm proud of you.
He's growing up.
I'm growing up.
You
Had to
hunted today, like actually
That's
hunted.
true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
You're like a real hunter now.
Yeah.
Was that what you said earlier?
No,
You're
that
like a
was
real hunter now.
Jimmy's quote from earlier.
So she ended up back by the shed, and tin roof on the shed, acorns kept falling on it. So an acorn hits, so I jump and wing around my shoulder, and I see at least 2 tails go. So I'm like, oh, she was over there with a friend. Not 30 minutes later, I hear the thump, 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 the thump of the deer running through the woods. I look over my left shoulder, and two baby does are running, like, right to me, like, directly to me. And one spots me and is like, hold up.
Thought he was gonna say it had spots.
No.
He just shot it for sure.
He's like, oh,
Game
man.
point.
It's a rare one.
Yeah.
My specialty.
Put that pelt on the wall.
Yeah.
So the other one just kind of runs by me, and she was no shit 10, 12 feet away. So when she realizes her friend stops, she stops, turns around, and is like, what's going on? And she just walks back through. So I have this doe just walking at a very slow pace, crossing right in front of me. If I had a spear, I could have killed her.
That spot's so tough because it's a very narrow little valley in there, a lot of cover, and they're always on top of you. I said to you, it's like hand-to-hand combat. You go in there and you're always going to see deer, but they're in your lap.
Right. You're
There's
almost
no other way to hunt it.
better off with a bow.
You're right. Yeah.
I was thinking, and I wish it wasn't right there with all those buildings, because like a stand out there would be lethal.
Yeah. But it is. It's like right in that mix with the old house and the barn right there, but you just sort of nestle in between the two, and you're going to get an opportunity, but just like that. I mean, it may be an opportunity at the same, 3 or 4 little does that come through, but eventually, that's a spot that you just luck into some freaking slammer come walking through.
I was hoping a buck was going to follow her in, but with her being a first-year doe, she's not in heat.
No.
Which I wasn't sure. Andy and I talked about that when I got back, because I'm like, I don't think bucks will pursue a first-year doe, but we have confirmed that most likely not.
Yeah, I guess, and Don, Jimmy, chime in, but my comment was typically if they do come in the first year, it's usually like a late.
They're part of that later.
It's like a late rut.
They call it the second rut, yeah.
They don't stink quite as the mature does do, so I'm going to say the bucks probably leave them go.
Right. But yeah, so those 2 deer went to walk like around me, behind me, and the one is staring at me, the one that spotted me initially, and she's just stomping the ground.
It's like that stump was not that big yesterday.
Stomp and stomp and staring at me.
It also wasn't blaze orange.
Yeah.
They can't see that. Well,
Yeah.
you've got that solid blaze vest. It doesn't have any.
Were you waving your comforter?
Yeah, no. Because when she was behind me, as soon as I turned to look at her and I had to turn enough to move my shoulders rather than just my neck, she did that little wheeze. If one of you guys can imitate it, feel free. But yeah, who did that?
That was down.
That was me.
Yeah, like that.
Yep.
And she
You
took.
know what Jim Harvey would say?
What's that?
She blows, she goes.
She blows, she goes. Yeah, he'd have fed her right there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's
Boom!
Yep.
But yeah, she took off. The other one took off, and then I saw 4 tails run. So there were four deer right there. I only saw the 2 until they all turned to run. But I did. I saved the lives of 2 baby does today.
Man, you're a conservationist.
I am a conservationist.
I'm proud of you, Ethan.
We're gonna at least give them a chance to get pregnant.
You hunted like 3/4 of a day. You hiked a bunch of miles, and you passed on deer. I mean, you're a full blown like you went to next grade level of a hunter.
Statistics that I talked about this weekend is I have discovered that I have known Andy for longer than I haven't known Andy in my life.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
And I have now officially passed on more deer than I've ever shot. I passed on 2 deer today. I passed on 1 last year. 3 passes, 2 dead deer, all baby does.
We gotta get you a buck, man.
I know.
Gotta get you a buck.
I just got to find somewhere where there's mature does.
You coming out tomorrow?
I'll probably go back to the same spot tomorrow.
Yeah. I think you go in there, you hit that grunt tube a little bit.
I was hitting the grunt tube today. I love the grunt tube. It
Drag
doesn't
your
work.
feet walking in, make a little noise, give it a little bap.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I heard 2 bucks fighting in there this morning.
Well, I will say the other thing is when you're down there, because all that land's been abandoned for so many years, and it's so thick, and everything's just dry and dead. You get a little breeze, and that entire area just crackles.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't sure if that's what you heard. I mean, I didn't hear what you heard, and I've also never really heard a buck fight. So
I mean, it sounded like a bunch of lumber getting pushed together. It sounded like a rattle bag. Is kind of what it sounded like. And I don't think anybody else was hunting over there, but that's basically what it sounded like.
Give it a shot. Get in there.
You can't hurt anything.
No.
Let's put it that way.
my biggest thing is tomorrow, if I shoot something in the morning, I have to have it in a cooler by the afternoon.
That's fine. You got people here to help.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not if you guys are out all day. And
What do you mean?
Jimmy's driving down to some public land in Minnesota.
No, I'm hunting the hill here tomorrow. I'm sleeping in until
By 10 a.m.
crack of
tomorrow,
light.
each one of us is going to have filled a buck tag, be back up at camp drinking coffee.
I'll be happy with any deer tomorrow that's not a baby doe. And I'm not going to kill a baby doe.
There you go. It's good to have rules.
Yeah. Button buck, gone.
It's good.
Baby doe, no.
Standards.
Yep.
But I wanted that deer today. I just couldn't do it.
Jimmy won't shoot a half rack. We learned that.
Which is stupid.
I know, it was stupid.
What'd I text you?
It was a cool hunt. It was exactly the way you drew it up, too. I should have just did it.
Just did it.
Yep.
Dumped him.
You said the same thing last year when you passed on that 7
That's right.
pointer.
It's 7
I know.
pointer.
Been passing too many
So
deer
here's
here.
the rule. Don't pass on deer unless they're baby doe.
So I shot a small basket buck with my bow in New York. You know, that was only like a week ago.
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
And so I was like, all right, I shot my small basket buck now. With gun, I'll be a little bit more selective. And I regret that because, again, I haven't had a 3-buck season yet, and I had an opportunity this morning. So here we sit.
And you're not motivated because you've only killed 4 deer this year?
Yeah.
Yep.
I have still a pile more doe tags to use back home if the cooler starts to run dry, so we'll be all right.
That's what I'm hoping to get back here, if not for a weekend. Get down here like late morning and just hunt through dark.
Middle of the day, yeah.
And I have access to that land in Brockport, which there's so many deer out there.
With the blind, like if you come down by yourself, sitting at box blind, little heater.
Oh, that's fair. I forgot about
you sit there
the
all day.
pillbox.
Yeah. Walk in, sit there for a few hours, do a little walking, get back in.
Which if I bring my little buddy heater, I'll probably be fine just to sit in there.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, that thing's a ticket. I want to get the kids in there, take them out for a hunt.
weren't you gonna bring Liam down or something next weekend?
Yeah, Liam's going to be a killer.
Liam
Maybe
is
next weekend,
Donnie's
we'll see.
son, one of Donnie's sons.
Yeah. He's itching. He's ready. He's got his BB gun all ready to go.
Red Rider.
Yeah. We got a couple of them. Little old Daisy.
Yep.
Gotta get you on a buck. I think that bottom tomorrow is a secret. All that cut wood.
Yeah, the problem with the bottom is getting back to the top.
Yeah, worry about that later.
Yeah.
I think especially take the truck down to the point. You can walk in from there. It's a shorter walk, and then it's still a long haul getting up and out, but at least you get up to the truck and then you can drive back.
Yeah, because that last bit coming up with Dad, it's not super steep, but
If you go down, if you decide you want to go down the bottom tomorrow and you shoot one, I'm coming down with my frame pack. We'll quarter them right there.
Okay, and just
we'll do
pack
it
them out.
We'll do it the old-fashioned way.
There you go.
You'll get the full experience then.
That'd be great. So even I was thinking today, because the other thing we experienced today was an extremely severe thunderstorm that hit just as darkness was setting in. And I was thinking where I sat today, I had no cell reception. I think I was able to eke off a text to my wife, who is the co-host of the show.
What's her name?
Jenna Lucas. Yeah, I say my wife. She's going to be like, why would you call me your wife? I'm the co-host of the show. Now I got to edit that out. But I eked out a text to her just to be like, I have shit service, so if you don't hear from me. And then I text him because I was technically on... so I was on that abandoned property, but I was just over the lot line into someone else's property. And I'm like, is this going to be okay? And it wasn't until about 6:30 I got his response from 2:45 that was, yeah, dude, you're fine. But I haven't shot a deer in 15 years. So I would need a little refresher course from the YouTube on, like, standard field dressing procedure. And I had no cell service. So I would have
quarter it out.
I would have come back to the house, waited for Donny to come back, and been like, all right, let's go take care of this deer. And we would have been doing it in pouring rain.
Thunder, lightning.
Thunder and lightning.
No better way to kind of refresh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
in the dark.
To come back.
You know?
I mean, it only weighed 60 pounds. You could just throw it over your shoulder.
Well, yeah. That was the other thing. When it ran up to me and was that close, I'm like, oh, my God, it is so little. Like, thank God I didn't shoot her on the way in. Because from 30 yards, you're like, I got no frame of reference.
You get excited.
She could be a year and a half. Yeah. Well, when she's standing next to you and only comes up to your hip.
She was trying to snuggle into your comforter.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, that guy looks
I love
cozy.
that you.
She could have.
I love that you said that.
That guy looks cozy.
Right.
He's got this comforter.
It's just so funny.
It was 45 degrees and I'm in all my gear, so I'm probably out there red-faced.
Probably. It's hard. It was warm. I mean, it wasn't warm, but it felt warm today. You know, some days you go out there and it feels cold. Today was
It's
not a
no
cold
wind.
day.
Yeah.
I think it was the best hunting weather we've had, other than the fact that the deer just didn't seem to be moving.
I would have liked some snow. I always like snow on opening day.
I know,
Snow's
but
fun.
snow means cold, and
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. That year we came up when it snowed, and we were driving the quads back, and it was just like winter wonderland. That was cool.
what about that? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, how about the year we came up, we had like 16 inches
That's
of
what
fresh
I was
snow.
going to say. It came overnight, didn't it? Because we all got in,
Yeah.
and then we got buried Friday
No.
night.
No, it came in Thursday into Friday.
Yes, because I called you.
Yeah.
I wrote down with you. 'cause I
Yeah,
had the
you were
car.
worried you wouldn't get the car up the hill. We were all saying that you know, if you can get into camp, just stay, and hopefully it melts off and we'll all get out easy. But that was the year those other people drove in and
Oh, the Suburban got stuck on the hill.
they got stuck for like an hour trying to get up the hill.
Were either of you guys here at that time?
I was not.
No.
Oh man,
I've heard this
You
story.
were, right? Really?
we sat here in our cozy little cabin looking out the window, saying, "Man, that looks like it sucks."
You'd hear the engine rev, and they'd go up like 10 feet, and you'd see them just slide like 25, 30 feet backwards.
They got what every road hunter deserves.
Yep.
Stuck.
Yeah,
Stuck
we were
in the
watching them
snow.
from the window there at the dining room. I'm like, should we go out and help them? I'm like, nope. Yeah, it took them probably an hour and a half, 2 hours to get out of here.
Yeah, it was a long process. A lot of snow that year.
Only one person stupid enough to shoot a deer at the bottom of the hill with 16 inches of snow.
Yeah, that year we sat here on Friday night saying, don't shoot a deer tomorrow. Unless it's like once in a lifetime. It ain't worth trying to drag through this snow. But poor William was dragging.
Wasn't even his deer.
Wasn't even his deer,
His
but
dad
he was
shot
dragging.
it.
He was dragging.
That would have been a good time to have Andy and Jimmy here to be like, let's just go down and we'll pack it out.
Dude, I've thought of that a bunch. After packing deer out in Pennsylvania last year, I'm like, you know how many times this would have been
A good
Useful
a
knowledge.
great idea? And it never, I mean, prior to seeing it done, it never once would have crossed my mind to, like, cut a deer up and pack it out. I mean, I had thoughts of, like, oh, if we got a deer way down here in the bottom and, you know, you could cut down, like, a little tree and make, like, a skid or, you know, two guys
Yeah,
could
like a
carry it
litter.
out. And in hindsight, I'm like, I don't know why it never once crossed my mind to be like, just quarter it up and carry it out.
It makes for at-home processing a
Also
lot easier.
a lot faster.
Right.
Yep.
And if you do drop it off at an actual processor, they love you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, save half the job.
Mm-hmm.
They charge you less?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever take a deer to a processor.
I do because, well, for one, it's very convenient. Everything gets vacuum
Oh, for
sealed.
sure.
You pick it up 2 days later, everything's frozen. But mainly because I have not mastered the art of a lot of the smoked, like summer
Oh,
sausages.
okay, so
and
you're
things
talking
of that
like
sort.
process.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like where you drop it off and then here's your back straps, here's your loins,
doing
here's
Yeah.
your,
nuts.
Well, I mean, they do that in conjunction with doing
Oh.
the smoke stuff, so it comes back as a full package deal.
Gotcha. Is that the way it is up here?
No.
I say up here, it's
I
two
don't
separate
know.
places.
I don't know of any places, that would do both.
Yeah,
there
or-
are some, but
Yep. Yeah, I drop mine off, and he'll like butterfly the strap. However, I decide to have it when it cut. And if I tell him I want most of it grind, if I want it mixed with pork or whatever, and then I'll tell him how many pounds of like hot sticks I want, how many pounds of jerky, whatever. And then it'll
Here
come.
you would take it to somewhere that's going to give you just your meat. Then you would take that somewhere that turns it all into sausage and
Pain
stuff.
in the ass.
I'm excited. I got 10 bags ready for eventual sausage and hot dogs.
That's nice.
Perfect.
Let me know if I have a full tabletop meat grinder.
Ooh.
Someone gifted it to my mother-in-law,
Yeah, I'll use that.
and she like has sat on it, and she's like, "I'm never gonna use this. Would you use this?" And I'm like, "If I ever get a deer, I'd turn most of it into sausage." So now I have a brand new in-box meat grinder.
Nice.
Not even the cheap KitchenAid one.
No, it's
an
a
actual,
standalone. Wow, that's nice.
I say cheap. It's a very expensive KitchenAid one, but it's not an attachment to the KitchenAid mixer.
Yeah, I did that for a couple years. Ran entire deer through the KitchenAid grinder attachment.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I remember you telling me that, and I looked at the KitchenAid grinder, and I was like, hey, nah, I'm not doing that.
It's great if you just want to, grind 5-10 pounds and call it good. But, yeah, it was taking me hours to run 30-40 pounds through a KitchenAid attachment.
Which that's the main reason I want a deer is for sausage.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had all the sausage I want to make. I'm not doing it with beef. I'm not buying beef to make sausage. I'm not buying pork to make sausage.
Yeah, I mean, I've made venison sausage before. I think honestly, you're better off making pork sausage. If you want my 2 cents.
Well,
Hot take.
I've
right
had
there.
some pretty excellent venison sausage.
That's from Andy, who today says, "Why do I even do this anymore?"
It was a rough day. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like the venison sausage that I've made before, like you end up putting pork fat in it.
Yes.
Because venison is so lean, and that's its character. And I mean, I feel like that really shows in like the backstrap and all the other cuts.
Andy is a purist.
Well, that's like I
like to eat good stuff the way it's supposed to be prepared. And I don't know, venison backstrap is great, medium rare.
I had a mango habanero sausage last year. Oof.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it since. It was like February. We were making venison sausage.
Yeah.
Man, it was good.
Well, I go back to when we were down here for the trout trip.
Mm-hmm.
Our dinner was sausage that Jim Harvey had given me opening day last year.
Mm-hmm.
So we had the Jim Harvey's Bigfoot Dick sausage, and was it andouille? Something like that.
Yeah,
and they're both
andouille's
chorizo,
great.
something like that.
Andouille
They're both
and
very
chorizo
good.
are both great sausages.
But so it's funny talking about Pertinier with. I listened to the episode where they discovered that you can just go to a butcher and buy pork back fat.
Yeah.
Instead of buying high fat cuts of pork.
It's cheap.
Yeah, and I mean I have.
They basically give it away. It's
I have
like
a nice little meat
$1
market right in Greece. That if I ever get a deer and say, hey, I'm going to do this 10 pounds of sausage, you go and ask for 3 pounds of
Pork
back fat.
trimmings, yeah.
Yep. And then you just make your ratios what you want them. You want 85-15. You want 90.
I got all the fat back from our pigs. We're gonna try using that.
Oh, that's cool.
So usually we don't keep it. The butcher would keep it and probably use it for lard, or if they do have customers
You
who
should
want
keep it
fat.
and keep it frozen for sausage making purposes.
That's what I did this year. In the past, there's so much. I mean, I think each hog you end up with like 30 pounds of fat.
Yeah, it's nice.
In the past, it was like we don't want all that. But I was talking to Big Willie and said, "Would you guys use it? Right? If I got it, yeah, we'll give it a shot." So
I was at the point.
See how it works.
And shout out to my hot wing boys, Matt and Jake, because we all do the smoked meats and stuff. I was having them as well as myself save any trimmings we were getting off of pork shoulders and brisket. And I was like, I'll freeze it. And if I get a deer, I got fat to grind in. And now going and buying back fat, I'll get rid of the shit that's been in my freezer for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you should throw that
At
out.
very least, that lard should work for like even prepping the grinders and stuff before throwing meat in it.
Yeah.
Just grinding fat through?
Yeah.
Yep. That's the one thing I'm
Lubing
worried
it
about
up.
is it's not trimmings, it's pure fat.
It's actual back fat.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're almost better off with like pork trimmings for the meat and stuff that's in it.
Yeah.
I don't want meat in it. I
You
just
want
want
a
the
little
fat
bit.
content.
You just want the
Yeah,
fat.
you want a little bit though.
No, you want. I'll agree with Andy on the purist. I will add the pork fat to the venison, but I'm not looking to add pork to my venison.
But and that's where and just to kind of come back to where I struggle with the venison sausage. Some of it tastes delicious, I agree, but at a certain point, can you really call it venison sausage? Because if you're gonna do it right, it's probably 50-50, or like you're probably doing 50% venison, 50% fat,
Right.
or 50% pork.
Right.
Like where do you kind of draw that line, right?
Well, that's why I wouldn't want the pork in it, just the fat.
Yeah.
You just want the grease in there to lube her up.
And that's like I've always tried to do. Like I was like, okay, I want my venison sausage to be mostly venison, so
It's gonna be dry.
And it was dry, and like it tasted good. Like the flavor was good. Like I did like a bratwurst type sausage. Flavor was great, but it was just it was a drier sausage.
I'll have to figure out, because I'm going to kill a deer this year.
Tomorrow. That's what you mean, tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
And if not tomorrow, this year. Even if I go snag a baby doe somewhere at the end of December.
Rules do get a little blurry towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
But Jenna's big thing is the only sausage she really likes is breakfast sausage. And I will die on the hill. The best breakfast sausage I've had in my life was from a deer Dad had gotten probably 25 years ago now. And it was so good. So I was like, I'll have to look up.
You talking about the apple sausage?
Was it patty? It was patties.
Yeah, but it was
Maybe.
had apple in it and stuff.
I
It
don't
was
remember what
delicious.
was in it. I just remember
Sounds
being
so
like,
good.
Yeah.
We used to eat that in college, Andy. Remember that? We'd get the apple sausage links. They were so good.
Yeah.
But so I'll have to come up with a breakfast sausage recipe because
There you go.
Yeah.
I get a maple breakfast sausage from the place I take mine to. I really like.
see, and my goal would be to not take mine anywhere and just figure it all out.
Do you want to do heart tacos for lunch tomorrow?
Oh, we should.
Kill a deer, we'll do heart tacos.
The last time you told me that,
You did.
we did it.
I know the
Ethan
heart.
was like,
The hard
"Bring me-"
part's gonna be me driving to town to get stuff to make heart tacos.
Yeah, you came prepared last time, and you were like, "Listen, somebody bring me a heart."
It was
And
2 years ago. We didn't do deer heart tacos last
No,
year.
No, we
and then I just sent you a picture of the one
Of the heart
of
in
the
your
heart.
hand,
Yeah.
which I'll drive to get stuff.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I'll even be late getting home for a deer heart taco lunch.
They were so
They were
good.
good.
So the tradition down here, and we've only done it once, but if somebody gets a deer opening weekend and it's not a heart shot, they save the heart of the deer. We clean it out, strip it down, season it up, fry it up in butter, and we do deer heart tacos for lunch.
So good.
They were good. Yeah, I would do that again.
Which again, going back to the sausage conversation, I love trying to find ways to use as much of what you can.
Mm-hmm.
I've had 2 years that I've taken livers and lost them both in freezer incidents. I've had them frozen. Because one of these years I'll show up here with venison liverwurst.
I mean, weird as it is, I was huge on liverwurst as a kid. Loved it. Liverwurst sandwiches in the lunchbox.
Really?
Yeah, it was all about it.
Which the only liverwurst sandwich I have ever had was at Roarbox on Buffalo Road in Gates, which I don't know if you ever went out there. It's a brew pub.
Yeah.
But for like $13 on their menu, they just have a liverwurst sandwich with like onions and mustard. And I'm like, you know what? I'll send it.
Yeah.
And it was actually very good.
Yeah. And like I don't eat liver, but like a prepared liver,
Which I never have either.
I've never eaten that. But like I don't know, liver, and like for those on listening who don't understand what liverwurst is, it's basically you take the liver, you cook it, and then you basically grind it up into a pate.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a spread.
So it's not like a bratwurst. It's not
No.
like I'm picturing like a hot dog.
No,
No,
but
picture peanut butter.
Huh.
if I make it, I might case it and
Yeah.
do it in links and see how that turns out.
Yeah.
Almost like a hot dog. It'd be like
Yeah,
a liver
be like-
hot
Yeah,
dog.
basically.
Yeah.
So what's the plan tomorrow?
Like I said, I was gonna go back to where I was this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
You guys could probably convince me to go.
Where are you going, Jimmy? What are you doing?
I want to help Ethan get a deer. That's what I want to do, and Andy. So
Both sound
if
like good goals.
either one of them, if I could help in any way, I would. If you want me to
No,
sit,
I want you to get a third.
somebody
buck.
wants me to sit and call with for them. If they want me to push for them, I'm in both ways.
I wouldn't mind doing a little pushing. If you guys go down to
can.
the point,
I love walking.
The big thing to
I'd
keep in
push.
mind is I am not staying through till Monday like you guys, so I do have to plan to be at home tomorrow afternoon. So we can't do a whole day thing.
Okay, that's fine.
might turn into a whole day.
Yeah.
Then.
If it turns into one, you got to make the call.
You never know when shit
see.
gets
All right.
western.
When shit
Shit
gets
gets
western.
western.
Never
Listen,
know.
Yeah, you shoot a buck and around like 10 o'clock, you're going to want to stay the rest of the day.
I know.
Yeah.
I just have to be at work Monday
We'll be
morning at
fire-
6 a.m.
Firing up those deer heart
How far
tacos.
is work from here?
Hour and a half.
Nah,
That's
not
doable.
bad. Jimmy got up at 3:30 today.
I know, to go hunting, not to work.
Well,
It's different.
I mean,
same thing.
Jimmy
Yeah.
was working.
This was
4 a.m. fishing and 4 a.m. to work is a little bit different.
this was like work. It was like work.
It was like
enjoyable though.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's a good plan.
Yeah, I'd love to.
I think we're gonna do it tomorrow.
I mean, I don't care if it's just like a bunch of sticks fell on the head of a doe. Close.
It
Close
just
enough.
momentarily looked like
Yeah.
a buck.
Truthfully, if it's a 1.5-year-old doe, I'm game.
Yeah.
I'm just not looking to throw something over
Yeah.
my shoulder and carry it home.
No, it's important to have those boundaries. You finally graduate from certain things like shooting spikes.
Oh no, Spike's dead.
I only shoot spikes when I need to pack them out, and there's no evidence.
No evidence. No, I'd take a spike because 1.5 years. I'll take the
For
meat.
you should. You don't have any bucks in your record.
No bucks. She just go out to Uncle Don's and be like, I need to kill a buck.
I just need to kill a buck.
He'll be like, okay, just walk out back. There's 4 there right now.
Yeah, that'd be a different style. I just want to shoot a buck. I'm like, okay. Try to keep it in the 130 to 140 class range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you guys know, our uncle he owns and I'll say he manages because he has Billy's
Yeah.
land too. How many acres?
600
Yeah, out east
In
of
that-
Syracuse.
in that ballpark.
And in his barn, he has a European mount of a deer I would contemplate putting on the wall for a shoulder mount with a sign hanging from the antlers that says, I am too small, do not shoot me.
It's your like picture perfect classic 2.5-year-old 100-inch 8-point that like just right out to the tip of the ears. Perfect 8-point. But yeah,
And that's under
in his world. Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
But you could do that. You know, if you're hunting Little Iowa or a
Yeah.
heavily managed property, you could do that.
Yeah, not on, 29 acres down here
Yeah. In the middle of nowhere.
with constant competition.
No, whatever you see tomorrow, take it.
No baby does.
Baby does.
No baby does.
I'd like 8 or better. I'm not overly picky. If it's got a basket,
put it in a casket.
put it in a casket.
If she bleats, she eats.
She bleached.
She blows, she goes.
It's pretty much any deer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the old days, they'd say if it was brown,
If it's
down.
brown, it's down. I've heard that one.
It all tastes the same.
Just feed them. It's an easy
just feed
game.
'em.
Yep. So
Alright.
we're just shy of an hour. I'll say we're good unless you guys got anything
Do
else.
your
you
sign off. You got a fancy sign off?
No, not really. You guys got nothing? No final thoughts?
You should have hit the wah when you said I don't have a fancy sign off.
No. I mean, I have a no. I have a.
There's
I have
a very specific
I have
purpose.
a very organic sign off that comes out however it's meant to at the time,
Oh, okay. All right.
and it sounds something like,
Yeah.
"Hey, thanks for listening. This has been episode 6. Thank all you guys for coming on and chatting. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. However, last week didn't make it to YouTube because some technical difficulties. But thank you for listening. If you have suggestions on episode topics or want to be a guest, you can reach out to us at thelucasloungepodcast@gmail.com. But this is the first official episode of the Lucas Lodge podcast. And one last final shout out to Pertnier. If you enjoy outdoors material, check out Pertnier Outdoors podcast. Thank you guys for joining me, and thank you all for listening.